So you've been seeing all these different like morning routines with the clickbait thumbnails and titles that say $1 million morning routine, and they're doing all that bullshit with the meditation and grounding, right? Like taking off their shoes and like walking on like the grass and shit, and like the sauna and the cold plunge, right? Now, I'm not saying these things are bad. I'm just saying like these things aren't the things that got them there, right? This isn't the routine that got them the aesthetic body. This isn't the routine that got them the nice house, that dream career. This isn't the routine that made them all that money, right? The routine that got them there is a lot simpler, but it's a lot harder to do. If you're watching this video, you probably have been trying to find like that perfect routine that you need to achieve what you want to achieve and finally make progress. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to make your ideal routine so you can finally achieve your goals. Section 1, morning routine. Your morning routine is the most important part of your day. It's where most of your progress and your goals are made. It's where the world is quiet and you can just chip away at your goal. Now, a lot of people says it doesn't matter when you wake up, right? We have the same 24 hours, so it doesn't really matter when you wake up as long as you're doing the work. And I mean, I've even said this, right? But I've changed my mind, especially when I started waking up earlier. Now I wake up at 4 a.m. So since I'm waking up super earlier, I can tell the difference now. I can see the difference. And when you wake up matters a lot. I'm not saying you have to be waking up like at like 1 a.m., only getting 2 hours of sleep in the process. But waking up 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. in that 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. range will put you ahead of most people. It's not even that it's some like hustle, like culture bullshit, right? These hours are just peaceful. It's so quiet. Like, look. Did I just leak the address? Did I just leak the address? So you can see like there's nothing going on, right? Outside, there's nothing going on. It's very like peaceful and quiet. Like there's nothing to distract you, like really, right? You don't have your mom busting in your room. You don't have your friends calling you to come outside or play the video games. It's just you and the work, right? There's no outside noise. And I feel like if you can get over that barrier of waking up super early, you'll make a bunch of progress. So the first thing I want you to do to create your ideal routine is basically pick an early wake up time. So 3 to 5 a.m. I would characterize as early, right? 6 a.m. is the max, but try to keep your wake up time in that 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. range. This is like the best range I see because it's not too early where you have to like sacrifice sleep, but it's not too late where you're kind of like missing out on that like kind of like golden hours, those golden hours. And those golden hours are like 3 a.m. to 7 a.m., right? Because nothing can distract you during that time because everybody is asleep. So right now, all we have is our wake up time now. So what do you do during the routine? Meditation, cold showers, grounding, affirmations? None of that. You don't do none of that. What you do is your highest leverage task. Your highest leverage task is the most important thing that you have to do to reach your goals. It gives the most output relative to your input. So if you do 3 hours of this highest leverage task, right, you will get the most output, like over anything else that you do in terms of reaching that goal. So how do you identify your highest leverage task? I'm gonna like have like a deeper video on this, on like how to actually like work, but like just like as a rough draft, first what you do is just identify your goal. Now you probably have like 5 goals in mind, but my advice to you is to stick to 1 goal at a time, at most 2, right? But 1 goal at a time is going to be the best because we only have 24 hours in a day, and that might seem like a lot, but it's really not a lot. And there's simply just not a lot of things we can effectively and consistently do over that 24-hour interval. So sticking to 1 goal ensures all our time is focused on that one specific goal. And the more time you spend on something, the more progress you're going to make on it. And it's just that simple. That's just how the cookie crumbles. And the more time you do something, the better you get at it, the more you learn about that thing, meaning that you'll make more progress in that thing. So identifying that really important goal you want to achieve can be an aesthetic body, a dream career, 10K a month, whatever it is. After you identified your really important goal, just simply ask yourself, what is the one thing I have to do in order to achieve this goal? So let's take the aesthetic body, for example. What is that one thing that you have to do to get the aesthetic body? Like if you don't do this thing, you're simply just not going to get the aesthetic body. Well, it's workout. That can be in the gym, at home, it can be whatever, right? But working out is the highest leverage task that you can do in order to get an aesthetic body, right? Because if you're not working out, if you're not doing some sort of physical activity, there's no way for you. I mean, there is a way for you to burn fat, but there's not really any way for you to build muscle, right? And muscle is the real thing that makes your like body aesthetic, right? Having muscle mass on your frame, right? So if you're not working out, there's no way that you're going to like achieve that aesthetic body. It's kind of like, think of it as like a requirement. Like you're required to work out if you want the aesthetic body. Like you have to work out. It's no ifs, ands, or buts. If it's 10K a month, it's working on your business. Now, working on your business varies depending on person to person, but overall, the act of working on an aspect of your business, this can be the product, this can be selling to people, right? This can be like building the website, but just working on the business is your highest leverage task, because without working on the business, how the fuck are you even going to get to 10K a month? You have no business, right? So if you're not working on something that will give you money, you're not going to make money. It's that simple. So whatever your goal is, ask yourself, what is the one thing that I have to do in order to achieve this goal that I have? And once you find that thing, that is what you're going to do. So you have your waking time and you have your highest leverage task that you're going to be doing during the morning routine. Now you just need the execution. So the overall goal of a morning routine is to make it so the amount of time it takes you from opening your eyes to you working on that like highest leverage task is as short as possible. So a lot of people have a morning routine with like 3 hours of like setting up and preparation for the work. Like for example, they do like 10-minute meditation after waking up, then they journal for 10 minutes, then do a cold shower, red light sauna, all like these self-improvement buzzwords. Now I know these things are good, especially meditation, journaling, like cold like exposure, right? But honestly, apart from that, a lot of those things are just bullshit. Like a lot of those like red light sauna shit, all of those like grounding shit is just bullshit. I'm just sorry, I'm just gonna say it. And a lot of people think that in order for them to be more productive, they have to add more of the self-improvement shit. That's not the work, right? They have to add more meditation. They have to add more red light sauna. They have to add more cold exposure in order to be more productive. That doesn't make any sense. Just think about it. You're adding more stuff that wastes more time. And you're basically using that time that you can be using to do work by doing grounding and bullshit that doesn't really get you anywhere. What you have to actually do is just go and take some of that out. Now, of course, if meditation or cold exposure helps you like wake yourself up and helps you become more productive, by all means go and do it. But chances are it doesn't. Therefore, you're just wasting time doing it. And that wasted time can be transferred into doing the work. Now, literally all you do is work until your daily goal is complete. It can be like script, record, edit one video, or like doing this in a business can be like change a product, create 3 advertisements, or it can be like work out for 2 hours, run 5 miles. Whatever your daily goal is, that to-do list goal, just work until that's done. During the night routine segment, I'll dive deeper into like exactly what this to-do list or like Goldilocks goal, I like to call it, is, but for now, just keep it in mind. Section 2, afternoon routine. So your afternoon routine starts and ends around 12 to 6 p.m. This is what I would call like the afternoon routine. At around 12 p.m., your daily goal should be finished for the day. This part of your day is where you go and do shallow work, which is things like emails, meetings, little tweaks in your business, things like that. Like kind of like cutesy things that you don't really need like a lot of brain power and focus like to do really. And are important, like they're kind of important, but they're not really as important as those deep, big projects that you have. During this time is also where you do some sort of physical activity. Or if your goal is like physical activity, like aesthetic body, or you want to go D1 or something, if it's like a physical goal, then you already did your physical activity in the morning, right? Because that's your highest leverage task. So during this time, you can learn about your goal. You can learn new training methods or diet plans, learn about new workouts, things like that. So basically, if it's like a physical goal during like the afternoon, like kind of hours, you can just learn about your thing and learn how to get better at doing that thing. Learn better training methods, better like, recovery methods, things like that. And also, I just want to add that don't watch it from like these short kind of like very edited videos, right? Watch it from like long like podcasts from like doctors, Andrew Huberman's a good one, or read books on it. Books or long podcasts are going to be your best friends in terms of learning. But if your goal isn't like a physical goal, right, this is the time where you can like go to the gym, do calisthenics, whatever physical activity that you prefer to do it in like this afternoon period. Now, during this time, you would most likely have like holes of free time, right? And I know that you worked and focused maybe for 3 hours, maybe even 7 hours if you don't have like school or work or something like that. You did some shallow work, you did a workout, and you think, oh, I deserve to go and watch TV, or I can indulge in instant gratification. I deserve it. Now, trust me, I was like this. This is why I'm telling you this, right? When I always did that, it's not going to feel like a reward. I've been in that type of boat, right? I've been like, okay, because it's justifiable now, because I did the hard work. So now me being like lazy and diving into instant gratification seems like justifiable because I've been productive, right? But it's like, it just doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like a reward. It feels like now I revert back to like a brainless zombie scrolling on Reels and YouTube Shorts. It doesn't even really feel like a reward all that much. It's because I felt worse because I knew that there was something better I can be doing with my time, right? But I was simply just choosing not to do it, right? And what that thing is learning. It can be in the form of books or educational videos, like long podcasts, or it doesn't even have to really be a podcast. It can be like just like an hour, 30-minute long unedited video from some random self-improvement like YouTuber, right? Charlie Morgan is a good one as well. Shout out to him. But when you like have this urge of like feeling like just to be lazy, when you have like holes of free time and just want to indulge in instant gratification, instead of doing that, watch videos or read books and learn about things that relate to your goal and the skills that you need in order to be better and improve in that goal. So basically, when you have free time, instead of going on like Instagram and all that stuff, go and watch videos that relate to your goal and the skills that you need in order to like be good at that goal. So if it's business, read books on business and watch videos on business. If it's to optimize your health, watch videos on like the best diets, or read books on how to increase your testosterone and health. Whatever it is, simply just start learning about that skill or the skills that will reach you closer to your goals. Remember to actively listen and pay attention to the videos and books. Take notes as you're reading and watching, so you actually know what you're actually reading and watching, so you can actually gain value from those things, right? Because if you're just mindlessly watching these things, you're not actually going to retain the information and actually use the information. But when you're actively taking notes and you actively read those notes and actually do the things that they told you to do, that is learning. Learning isn't just watching the video just to watch it. Learning is actually applying the things that they say in the video or applying the things that they say in the book and doing it in the real world. Section 3, night routine. Now, depending on when you wake up, your night routine will start earlier. If you wake up earlier, you need to go to bed earlier, meaning your night routine has to start earlier. Usually, night routines start around 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. In a night routine, the whole purpose of a night routine is to go and set up for your morning to be better and faster. So doing things like setting up your clothes or making sure your computer is charged or making a to-do list on what you have to do next morning are things that you have to do, because this will just make the morning when you wake up less stressful, and it will make it easier to actually do. Because the morning is where the magic happens. The morning is when you do all the work that is really important to you, right? The night routine is just a spell that makes it work. Treat the night routine as kind of what is it called? You're just planning for the next day. You're just planning for the morning. Your night routine, you do basic things you shower, you brush your teeth, you eat, normal simple things. You set up for the next day, make sure everything is where it's supposed to be, stuff like that. But remember when I said to keep the concept of daily goals in the back of your mind? Now this is where it comes to play. In order to find a good daily goal, it must be a Goldilocks goal. I like to call them Goldilocks goals because A, alliteration is awesome, but B, also, remember Goldilocks, it was just right for her. A Goldilocks goal is basically a goal that's not too hard for you, so you just end up not doing it, or you end up just not finishing it for the day, but it's not too easy where you just finish it fast and you have so much work left in the tank, right? So basically, it's at a level where you maximize both your input and output, right? So it's kind of balanced, right? It's just right for you. Now, your Goldilocks goal is related to time and skill. The more time you have, the harder and more work your Goldilocks goal should have. And depending on your skill level, your Goldilocks daily goal should cater to your skill level. Like, for example, if your goal is to run a marathon and you do your morning routine of marathon training because that's your highest leverage task, right? You're running, but this is the first time you've ever trained for a marathon. Wow, a marathon. Do you think it would be smart to follow the training program of a professional marathon runner? Of course not. That makes no sense. Obviously, you can take concepts from them, but if this is your first time ever training for something like that, there's no way that you're going to be able to keep up with their training because they're a professional for a reason. They've been doing this, right? You have to build yourself up. You're simply just not at that skill level yet. Or if you want to make a business, yet you've never read a book on business or you haven't even started your business, should you start advertising or trying to hire employees? Of course not. What are they even working for? Because you're not at that level to be doing that. You're not at that level to advertise. What are you advertising? You haven't even made the business yet. Making the business, making the website, creating the school, the product is what you have to work on, right? And then you work on selling that thing or advertising that thing. But when you're not at that level yet, there's no reason that you should be focusing on that thing. So in order to find out what a good Goldilocks goal is, ask yourself, how much time do I have to work and what level am I at? Am I just starting out? Am I kind of there? Am I intermediate or am I really advanced? Right? And you get the idea. And then once you answer those questions, it should be easy to write down those Goldilocks goals. So in your night routine, you just do your normal things such as go, shower, brush your teeth, eat. Then you do things to set up and make your morning routine easier. And you also create a to-do list of daily goals that's not too hard, but not too easy. And that's it. That's your night routine. Now, all you have to do to create your routine in general is you just put your morning, your afternoon, and night routine together. And it should be similar to this. I'm just going to say my morning routine. So 4 a.m., I wake up. Takes me around 20 minutes to get dressed, brush my teeth, wash my face, stuff like that. And then at around 4:25, I start working. 7:10, I end my work session and I do a 10-minute meditation as soon as I stop. So 7:10, I'm meditating for 10 minutes. 7:20, I'm out the door, right? Going to school. School takes I get to school at around 8:20. And then I just do school, right? So 8:20 to 3:05, I'm out of school. Not 3:05, I'm bugging. 2:50, I'm out of school. So then I commute to boxing, right? I do some homework while I'm commuting and also waiting for my boxing. And around 5 p.m. I start my boxing session, right? And it depends. If I'm sparring, I stay there an hour later. But usually it's 5 to 7:20 p.m. I'm done boxing. If it's sparring, it's more 8:30, right? Then I go back, right? I do a little calisthenics workout from Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right? And then I'm just doing my night routine, right? So I brush, shower, eat, and at around 9:20, I'm in the bed and I'm reading. I'm reading a book, maybe 20 pages, and then I just read until I'm tired, and that usually takes 20 pages of a book. Right now I'm reading How to Win Friends and Influence People. Let me get it right now. I'm almost done with it, but yeah, that's basically my routine. And after I'm sleepy, I just go to sleep, and I go to sleep at around 9:40 usually, right? I never go to sleep at around 10 p.m. It's always around that late 9 o'clock, and that's my routine. Now, this is a routine when you have school. And I also want to add that if you have school, you can't do a Goldilocks routine. So you just wake up early, you do work maybe 2 to 3 hours of that highest leverage task, right? And then you go back, you go to school, right? And after school, maybe you do a workout and then learn, and that can be your day. But if you have nothing else to do, just follow that. You just do until your Goldilocks is done. You do some shallow work, you work out, stuff like that. So that's basically the routine. That's basically my routine. And if you need some inspiration, you can copy some of the things that I do in my routine. But yeah, that's literally it. That's literally the routine. It's boring. It doesn't have grounding. It doesn't have sauna. It doesn't have all these different shit, right? It doesn't have all this self-improvement, hustle culture kind of bullshit. It's just work, go to school, homework, boxing, workout, eat, shower, read, sleep. That's it. Section 4, adaptability. Having a routine is good, but a lot of people, and myself included, get too attached to this routine. That even if the most minor hiccup, whether it be out of our control or in our control, we just break down and just give up on the day, and we just say, I'll try to tomorrow. But trust me, it's going to be an endless cycle, and I mean endless cycle. Because you're so sensitive about your routine that if it's not followed perfectly, everything falls apart and you lose progress. Since you do good for like 3 hours and then fall apart and it's just back to instant gratification. You work and you do your deep work for 3 hours and then like something happens and you're just like, just fuck it, I'm gonna just scroll on reels for the rest of the day. I will argue that being detached from your routine is even more important than the actual routine itself. Being able to adapt and be ready for, frankly, things that are out of your control and that can mess up the flow of like your routine is very important for progress. Again, I'm gonna make a deeper video on this, but just to have some tidbits, how you can adapt and detach from this routine is very easy. A stoic practice called negative visualization, and this is the bread and butter to detachment, because when you visualize everything that can go wrong in your day and realize, wow, this isn't that bad that I see, that I imagined it to be, then you start to realize that you can start to become detached from this thing. When you visualize everything that can go wrong in your day, everything that can mess up your routine, and realize that it's not that bad, you start being detached from your routine, and even when that thing happens, it's not going to affect you as much, right? Because you don't have this belief that everything is sunshine and rainbows. You have this belief that, okay, something can go wrong, but I'm comfortable with that worst possible scenario, meaning that if that worst possible scenario happens, I'm still going to do the things. I'm still going to be productive because I know that this thing is going to happen, but I'm comfortable with it, so I can adapt to it now. I just want to add that I have free one-on-one coaching calls where I help young guys lost in their journey of self-improvement gain clarity and knowledge on how to actually start progressing in their goals without the uncertainty on whether they'll achieve their goal or overcome their roadblocks. So again, it's free. You just book the one-on-one call and we can just talk about whatever you feel like is stopping you from making progress and finally accelerating. So if you're interested, links in the description below. I wish you luck on your journey and peace.